dudes? We're back with another episode. Justin's back again, right after pretty clever thing, man. I really enjoyed that opposition preview.
Not that clever, man. I saw other channels do it, and I thought we could do it with American supporters. But thank you, I appreciate it.
But the other thing is that not only that, but we're not ripping anybody off. I mean, this is all fair game. We've been ripped off actually a few times as well. But it doesn't matter because, we're all learning from each other. That's the best part. But the fan cams you did, man, like between that and then the opposition preview, I got to give you props because we've talked about it American AHTV has brought that up since day one, but nobody took the action to do it, and you did it, and we banged them all out. You banged them all out in just a few days. So
yeah,
and here we are.
So well, I'll get them to you a lot earlier next time. Of course, with it being my first time doing it, it's a learning curve, but
now we know how to. Yeah, now we know, right? Now we know how to do it. So yeah.
Also, Dan Lawless was nice enough. Shout out to Dan if you ever see this. He gave us some advice on Twitter in terms of resolution.
Yeah.
That we transfer thing. I think you may have seen that. So I don't know a lot about we transfer, but maybe that's something we can look into.
Definitely. Yeah, he was the one that recommended Premiere Pro for some of our editing and all that stuff. So we've definitely used that. Dan's a great guy. We had him on the show. His mom's in the chat room all the time.
Yeah.
Even at 2 a.m. Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I've bugged Dan with a bunch of questions on Twitter. He's always been super nice and friendly and willing to answer. And yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, they all are. Yeah, the Hammer Chat boys and the West Ham TV guys. So that said, we got a special guest from Michigan tonight. Whereabouts in Michigan are you, Eric?
Grand Rapids, Michigan. So
nice.
your handy map of Michigan here. We are right here.
Gotcha.
Great beer.
That is a handy map. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're near West Side, and yeah, we're Beer City, USA. So I own a couple of soccer bars here in town, and it's a good time.
What kind of supporters groups you get, or which ones do you not allow?
There's only one that is not allowed in here, and that would be Millwall. And there's one Millwall fan somewhere in West Michigan, and I just said
there is.
No, thanks. Yeah.
No way.
But
you allow the Spurs. The Spurs are the absolute most. They're the worst. The American Spurs supporters are absolutely the worst supporters, the worst people on this earth. I swear to God. Damn.
I don't know if Eric can say anything about that, given the fact that they patron his bar.
Yeah, they come in numbers. They buy a lot.
I get them all in. A Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea's actually kind of empty. There's really no Chelsea fans, but so yeah, I do have to be a little bit political. But for me, and this is a real struggle in Michigan, but I suspect everywhere. The enemy isn't Arsenal or Chelsea. The enemy is the American idiot that says, "Dude, soccer sucks." It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend almost. And so for here, it's like you got a safe area where, when Arsenal and Spurs play, I'm here and I'm watching, and they play as nice with each other as they can, but with the idea that, hey, this is it's like a safe city. It's a safe haven. I can go here and not hear some asshole say, "Dude, soccer sucks."
Yeah. So how did you get into West Ham though? Let's start with that. I'm sorry. We usually start with that. How did you get into West Ham?
So I've heard about West Ham all my life. I mean, Monty Python used to mention him a lot during that Karl Marx sketch when he's on the game show, and Eric Idle asked him all these economic questions, which Marx gets right. And then to Whinge the Lounge Suite, he says, the Hammers are what English football team? And that's how I first heard of West Ham United when I was a kid watching Monty Python. But
I remember that. Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
How it began for me was 2005. I've got lifelong friends in Munich, Germany, and I was visiting them in the summer. And they're 1860 supporters, and West Ham happened to have a friendly that summer there. So we took the train in to Alliance Arena from downtown, the U-Bahn, the Underground, and watched a match. And Marlon Harwood scored in the 88th minute to make it a 1-1 draw. But that's what I call a draw win, because you're expecting to lose. You score that one goal with 2 minutes left, and you tied the match, but you won the match. So we get back on the train. It's 10 Germans and 30 drunken East London Cockneys. And the Cockneys thought there was 10 Germans, but they didn't realize that there was 9 Germans and 1 Yank. And I leaned over to the guy next to me and I just said, "Hey, nice match today." And he's like, "Oh my God, you're a Yank." Hey, he's a Yank. He's a Yank. And they asked me out for beers. My German friends to this day are madder than hell at me for it. And I went out and had a bunch of beers in Munich, Germany with drunken cockneys. And you want to talk about a fun time.
I bet.
So
Yeah.
I started supporting West Ham then, but I didn't really become hardcore until I opened Speakeasy, my bar here, and in 2012. And I did European Cup coverage, and we blew the roof off of this place for World Cup coverage. But when I was doing the European coverage in 2012, I had a bunch of Brits say, "Hey, NBC's picking up all the matches. Would you open up early?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So back in the early days, it'd be 7 o'clock in the morning. It'd be me and maybe one other fan. And I didn't care what team they were pulling for. "I'll open up for you. Let's come on in and watch the beautiful game."
Yeah.
And since then, it's morphed. I mean, Arsenal kicked off at 7:30 last weekend, and we had 90 people in for it. I mean, for me, that's
shit.
Yeah, that's a win for the beautiful game. That's a win for our sport. But so I started following West Ham big time in 2012. I'm a card-carrying member. I saw a couple of games at the Bowling. In 14, I saw them beat a Manuel Pellegrini managed City team with Joe Hart in goal. We won 2-1 that day. I actually flew over to watch the Detroit Lions play at Wembley, and I made a weekend of it. And
Nice.
interestingly,
Eric, you're a Lions fan, Eric?
Oh man, I like pain. I like West Ham and the Lions. I haven't had a winning season. I haven't had a championship. I've added it up. It's 138 years. Brutal, man. Apparently I like pain. But back in 2012, I was poking around on the West Ham website, and they basically said, "Hey, send us an email telling us your story." And so I sent them an email that said, "Hey, I own the soccer bar in Michigan. At that time, I was the only hammer in Grand Rapids, and I said I have a policy. When West Ham scores, Speakeasy pours, and I poured a round of shots for everyone. My rationale being, if I can't make friends, I'll buy friends."
Yeah.
How Chelsea of me. And so the guy emailed me back. He's like, I love it because I'm going to do a write up on it. He says, "I'm looking at your website right now." So on that day in 2012, when the article came up, if you went to westhamunited.com, my article was on the landing page, and it's still
That's
there.
awesome.
If you look up Speakeasy Lounge on the West Ham page, that article will still pop up. So
That's cool. Yeah.
That next fall, I
right
sent him
now.
an email and I said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm coming over for the City match." And he's like, "Yeah, I remember you." He says, "It was a Saturday noon kickoff their time. It was the early match." And he says, "Stop on out to the stadium on Friday." So me and my buddy, my IT guy, went out and got a tour of the dressing room. Carl Jenkinson was there. I got a picture of Carl Jenkinson. Big Sam was the manager at the time. We got to walk out through the tunnel, up those steps, and you'd see the West Ham crest as you walk out on the pitch.
God.
And so if you look at my
I
Facebook
wish.
page, I've got pictures of all of that. I mean, pictures of me and Carl Jenkinson, and I'm sitting in Big Sam's chair, and there's my Facebook profile picture has me standing behind Adrian's net. I mean, it was just incredible.
Yeah, I took the Jenkinson photo to promote the show tonight. Yeah.
Cool. So,
Hey, Tim, you can share your screen, right? I found Eric's article.
Yeah.
Do I click that share screen button? And
yeah, you do.
So I mean, West Ham. I mean, that guy didn't have to do that. He rolled out the carpet for us. And if I'd been a Man U fan, I mean, and sent that email, that would have been and saying, "Hey, I'm coming to a match," that would have been like, have fun, you know.
Yeah.
So West Ham really took care of me.
Eric, we found your. This is the article, I assume.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome,
Now,
man.
for anyone from the Michigan Liquor Control Commission, I didn't buy anyone shots. That was all made up. We all know that's illegal.
I don't think they're watching this, but you never know.
I have enemies everywhere. And so then the other match I went to is I contacted him for the last season at the Bowling, and I knew that getting a ticket for the Man U match was going to be nearly impossible. But he did get me a ticket for the second to last match, which many people forget was Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I saw the rarest thing in all of human endeavor. I saw an Andy Carroll hat trick.
Oh,
that was a great game to go to.
He was a predator. He destroyed that team. So that was a 3-3 tie. That was my second time being to the bowl end. So yeah, I'm West Ham as it gets, and love every second. The more I watch West Ham, the less I pay attention to every other American sport.
How many supporters do you get to your bar? I mean, for West Ham, how many West Ham supporters do you get?
We're up to a solid 8 now. A buddy of mine that runs a brewery here in town is a West Ham fan. He also got me really hooked into West Ham, and he was the one I went to the Arsenal match. A partner of mine here, and then people. Eventually, some people start following it as, thank God for NBC covering it, because prior to 2012, you really had to struggle to watch it.
Yeah.
You could have been a Man U fan; it was hard to watch. But now
then we got spoiled though. We got spoiled for like 3 seasons where they showed every single match from everybody, and then
and then you get into the streaming nightmare.
Yeah. So, how far are you from Detroit?
About 2.5 hours.
It's not that bad.
I'm about 3 hours from Chicago, depending on traffic.
What do you guys do on social media? Like, is there an actual group, or is it you just saying, okay, no, this is my bar, people are welcome to come here, all West Ham supporters, or is it like, do you guys have a group, like an official group?
There's a bunch of groups. So I'm a moderator because I have to give the opening times, because the matches are all over the map. So I'm actually a member of the Spurs group and the Arsenal group. That's a business thing. There's the Grand Rapids Irons that we're members of, and then we've got a local Facebook page, West Michigan Fans of World Football, and there's 600-700 members on that, and I'll use that to communicate what matches are on. And it's crazy now with the streaming, because I've got people coming in to watch championship matches. There's 4 diehard QPR fans here, so yeah, I'll get the match on if I can.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, QPR is like my championship team. I've been to Loftus Road a couple times, and
I wouldn't mind checking out Loftus. So. But we're up to 8. We're up to 8 pretty diehard hammers. We get along pretty well. I've been over to Smithfield Hall in New York once. Those guys were great.
Yeah, they're great there.
I just had a riot. They treated us so well.
Yeah, Lee and I are Lee is my original my co-founder, I guess, of this per se. My original co-host. He lives like 10-15 minutes from me, but we live like maybe, with traffic an hour away from where the Boston Hammers meet. So this year we're going to be making 3 trips. We're going to be going to New York City to Smithfield Hall, and we're going to be going to Philadelphia because there's a revamped group there. There was a group there, kind of fizzled out, and then they beefed back up again, which is awesome. So we're going to hang out with them, and then also we're going to visit the DC Irons as well, because basically those are things where we can drive to and make a whole thing of it, and since the games end so early, we can just drive home after.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
I'm thinking about maybe going out to New York. Let me know when you do that. Maybe we could bring some of my.
Definitely. Let's make a thing of it. Definitely.
And Eric, you're close to me in Chicago. We'd love to have you too anytime you're in town.
Do you have a Hammers bar in Chicago, or is it the Globe?
No, so we moved from the Globe. Actually, my first year where I started watching with the guys was the first year that they moved to a bar called AJ Hudson's. And there's a bit of a little bit of a rivalry actually, because number one, they're very close geographically, and 2, the guy who owns AJ Hudson's used to be a partner at the Globe. And so there's a little bit of some supporters groups go to you got your Arsenal. Really, Arsenal goes to the Globe only, like of the big guys, and then like West Ham, Newcastle, City, Everton, Liverpool, all go to AJ's. Great bar, yeah. If you're ever in town, let us know. We'd love to have you. We usually average 10 to 15 per game. Yeah. And Eric, speaking of you seem like you've emphasized this a lot already in the short time we've spoken. You seem like you're a very community-based guy in terms of you're all about the soccer community, the community of soccer fans.
Football, yeah.
We build each other up. And I'm always interested not only in how people became not only West Ham fans, but fans of soccer. Not only that, but how their fandom has grown. For me personally, it's due to the community. It's due to the Chicago Hammers that I've seen all these games with. It's only increased the intensity and increased the passion. That's how my fandom has changed since I've originally started watching West Ham. So I'm interested, especially since that 2012 season where you say that's where you really started following him. How has your fandom changed in the last 7 years? How has it grown? How has it become different?
It's interesting you should say that, because we are a place that, like I said, the safe city, the safe bar to go and watch the football game without anyone saying something stupid. There was a group across the board: Man United fans, West Ham fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans. We got together, and one guy said, "Hey, I'm going to start a local Grand Rapids football club." We'd never had any sort of.
I was going to ask you about that. There you go.
Yeah,
You beat me to it.
That was absolutely born here at Speakeasy, and that first season we had one match where we had 6,500 fans show up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was total grassroots. So again, that was the idea of the enemy of my enemy. Like we know that there's a plenty of soccer love in the city. They just had nowhere to go, and so it started to coalesce here. And so
which league is that? Is that NPSL or USL?
We were NPSL.
NPSL, yeah. I had a team in NPSL.
That's awesome.
We actually had some. There's been some growing pains, like anything else. But I mean, to have all of those fans out there. I mean, like I said, just totally grassroots and community supported. So, and it's great to see. It's great to see our sport, continue to grow. And look what happened with the Women's World Cup. We had tremendous. I had 40 people waiting to get in 2 hours before kickoff on the final. Wow. I mean, that's all nothing but good for our sport.
Now, what year did Grand Rapids FC they found? What year were they founded?
I should know this off the top of my head. 14 or 15. 15.
15?
Yeah.
That sounds so familiar. I swear it was. So I bought a team, I think it was going into the 2014 season. So the team that I had was in the 2014 season in the NPSL. And then they stayed on for 2 more seasons after I left. And then they changed, completely rebranded after that. But NPSL, if it's done right, man, it's a nice community, you know. I mean, you can still work that professional feel in something so small. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
we created a great rivalry with Detroit, which I find hilarious because one of their chants is, "No one likes us, we don't care." With Millwall chant, and they're absolutely Millwall.
Well, it's true.
For me, that was an easy hate. I'm like, yeah, no problem.
It is true. Yeah, no one does like. I mean, it's funny because they have a massive following, massive.
So yeah, that's cool that you asked the community question, because that is what it's about. But like I said, we've gotten our West Ham supporters up to a solid 8 of us now. So it's growing. It's hard to stay organized. I mean, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. So.
Oh yeah.
Pun intended or no?
What's that? No. Good one.
Yeah.
95.
Yeah. So you said you have 8 guys. What are some of the what are the biggest supporters clubs there? I'm sure like the big 6 teams, right? They sort of dominate the landscape.
Arsenal's by far the biggest, and I don't think it's any coincidence that they're also the most organized. I see a lot of kind of splinter groups for West Ham across the United States. Arsenal's very, very solidified.
Super organized, Eric.
They are.
Super organized.
Give them credit, and they've got the 2 head guys come in every day, and they have a clipboard, and you sign in, and there's a contest, and whoever, you get 1 point for a 10 o'clock match, but you get 2 points for a 7 a.m. match because it's harder to make, and you get bonus points if it's an obscure match or some FA Cup match.
They have points for attending the matches at the bar.
Yeah, and then they give away a jersey at the end of the year. I mean, they've got it together. I give them credit.
But the clubs help. But the clubs communicate with them. The clubs actually help them out. The clubs do not help out the American West Ham supporters groups. They really don't.
I can't speak to that. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I see. So I see.
No, I know, but it's awesome to see that. It's great to see that these clubs are actually doing that. We walked into the bar where Boston Hammers go, and it's a city bar, really. It's also Celtic and everything else, but you should see the stuff, the murals, the signed jerseys, the frame signed jerseys with there'll be like a patch with their supporters group's logo on it, and a thank you, with autographs from the team and this, that, and everything else. These other clubs do that for their supporters groups.
See, I didn't know that West Ham wasn't, because like I said, West Ham was really good with me on that one-on-one.
No, they charge you for a brick or a plaque. You know what I'm saying? They'll charge you to have your brick over at the stadium. or something. You know, they don't give a fuck. I'm whatever. Anyway, that's what we were trying to do. So what we wanted to do was, as American Hammers TV originally, was to showcase all the supporters groups out here first and foremost, to basically say, hello club, we're here. It's, you know, they're actual people. You can physically see them when we have them on. I mean, and see their passion, you know, as West Ham supporters. And then we're like, okay, let's unite them, because there were a few Facebook groups out there that were massive. American Ironworks and American Hammers, the actual Facebook groups. They're massive. The massive amount of people that are involved with those, but nothing was being done really. So their business was to unite the fans across the country, but our mission was just to slap the club in the face and say, look at us, we're here, listen to us, we want you to recognize that, you know, we're passionate, and, you know, it'd be nice to, you know, have something to return. Not us, but the supporters groups, like all the other clubs do, like Spurs gives out shit for the whole, like every member in each group, not just one thing for the group. You know what I mean? It's
No, I saw. So Grand Rapids Spurs just became official with them, I think, last year. And again, you're right. The support network between Arsenal and United States, and between Spurs and the U.S. it's just better than what we have. But those are also more popular teams. I mean, I think eventually West Ham should probably figure that out. Frankly didn't realize how many Hammers were out there until I started watching your podcast and kind of poking around a little bit and seeing, hey, you know, and you'll see up on Facebook where someone will say, hey, I'm in San Antonio. Is there anyone in San Antonio? And before you know it, yeah, we're starting to coalesce. In classic West Ham fashion, we're about 20 years late to the party, but we're starting to coalesce.
But my point was that the whole the lack of not I can't say not governance, but like the lack of the connection from the club to all the groups means that all the groups are splintered.
Yeah.
Like, so there's actually groups that don't even like each other, and they're West Ham supporters groups. You know, I'm better than that group. That whole type of thing, because there's no, you know,
I never really understood that, Tim.
I don't either. You know what I'm saying? It's we're all West Ham supporters, right? I mean,
I agree. It's again going back to Monty Python. It's like Life of Brian. They were more worried about the PFJ than the Romans. Like, they were worried about the splinter group. And like guys, the enemy isn't the West Ham group across the state from you, or city or country from you. It's
no, you're right. But there's a lot of us here, and Lee and I, in the beginning, were super shocked, because I kept, you know, searching for people to interview. You know, we had no idea what we're walking into. We're like, okay, let's interview this group, and then all of a sudden another group popped up. I'm like, holy shit! There's Columbus. There's, you know, San Antonio, like you had mentioned. There's also Houston. There's also Dallas. There's also, I mean, obviously Chicago, and there's Cleveland. There's everywhere, man. There's Bay Area. I mean, the guy from Chicago, Matt Gregory, posted a map, which we took and did a roll call with. He posted the map on Twitter. I believe it was Matt that did that, right?
Yeah, Matt did that. Yeah,
Matt did the map. Okay, some of them, I'd say like 30% of them are just supporters that have Facebook pages. You know what I mean, or Twitter accounts. Okay, so like they have their own logo. Says, all right, I'm New Orleans Hammer. There's no group in New Orleans, okay, but there's someone there. That's awesome. Same thing with Mississippi. There's a guy in Mississippi. There's no group. But 60%, there's almost 70% of those logos, crests, custom crests, are actual groups that are actually growing. And the more and more and more, you know, soccer grows, football grows across the country, the more West Ham fans grow. I mean, as long as they keep playing Green Street reruns of Green Street Hooligans, we're finding a lot of people who watched that and got into West Ham. You know, it was featured in The Simpsons in one episode. I mean, people are
piggybacking off of Green Street that time. That movie has a soft spot in my heart because it's about my club, but I've also gotten so many answers or so many questions of, oh, do you like West Ham because of Green Street? And when I say, well, no, that's not the reason why it all started, they don't believe you. And I've also gotten those questions a lot from English people as well. And Eric, you were talking about how you really started, at least I guess, supporting West Ham through the English fans that you met. Besides maybe one or two people that have like not believed me that Green Street Hammers isn't the reason I support West Ham. Everyone that I've met via social media or in person has just been so warm and embraced Americans as being fans. Have you also found the same thing, or have you run into some English fans that are a little hesitant given that you're American?
No, normally, if I'm over there and I say I'm a Hammer, they'll look at me like I've got lobsters crawling out of my ears. Like, what Yankee is a West Ham fan? And I've heard some people chirp kind of self-righteously about, oh, you're not a true West Ham fan if you became a West Ham fan because of Green Street. And I think that's bollocks, man. I mean, if you're a fan, you're a fan. And
That's it. No, yeah, don't listen to that shit.
Yeah, like, who cares?
Exactly. It doesn't matter how West Ham found you or you found West Ham. I mean, as long as you're a West Ham supporter and you're passionate about the club and you do your research and your history, I mean, that's all that really matters.
Right.
When I went over there, they heard my accent, and I went to every place I saw with the West Ham flag, and I would walk in, they'd notice my accent immediately, and then they treated me like gold.
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay for dinner. I mean, when I was over there, I mean, it was crazy. It was awesome. But anyway, I hear other stories saying that no, like they don't feel that even locals, even English people that don't have season tickets, they're not true fans, and that's bullshit. People who fucking have to work on the weekends sometimes just to earn a living. You know what I mean? There's some people just can't physically make it or whatever. Anyway, I wanted to go back to the whole the club versus the supporters groups real quick. What I really wanted to say was when they became corporate, when they really, really, really decided to move to the stadium, is when they decided that they are a big club. When the club, they decided that they are a big club, is when, we're going to push for Europe. We're going to be a massive club. We're moving this massive stadium, blah, blah, blah. That's when they are. And if they're going to act like that or talk like that and want to be like Arsenal or Tottenham or Chelsea or something like that, then they should treat their fans like it as well. And they haven't done at all, even since the stadium. So, I mean, in any aspect whatsoever, even their local supporters, they haven't even treated like that. So now that they're there, it's time to step up. Anyway, that's all.
That's a tough one. If you want FA Cup, and if you want Champions League, and if you want to be top six, you got to have that kind of money, and it's going to take some of the soul out. You're not going to get as many Mark Nobles because you have to go pay all kinds of money for the big transfer in. That's kind of the payoff. If you want that, then you have to leave the Bowling for the plastic stadium, and it's hard, man, because I want to see. I've been through enough pain and misery with this team that I do want to see it, but I don't really want them to ever become the West Ham Yankees. Well, that's what you're going to have to be if you want to win.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right.
There's a trade-off.
There is.
And leaving the Bowling, I think they did that in a real shabby way. I mean,
yeah, they did.
You watch some of those documentaries, and it's like, no, you guys should have handled that better.
Yeah.
But that's different.
If they had a different owner, they could have done other things with that stadium. They could have figured something out. Are you telling me there's not a developer on this whole planet that couldn't have said, I see, I can plan that. I can absolutely, we can build up, we can knock it down and do something different or whatever, but we'll stay there. I mean, you tell me they could have found anybody to do that.
$300 million where they got to move into Olympic/London Stadium for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And a 99-year lease at what? I think it's $1 million a year for the lease. I mean, it's
like $2.5 million for rent.
Yeah. It's
at the end of the day, Tim, to your point, I think they could have found people to make the stadium more of a football stadium, but it would have just cost them money. And to Eric's point, the whole reason they moved was for money. It wasn't to build the club into a top six club, although that would give them more money.
Yeah.
It was simply to just make more on tickets, pay less in rent, and
they didn't make any money off of that the Bowling. They didn't. And the shitty thing is the guy, the brilliant person who bought that is going to be his grandkids, his great grandkids will be set for life because he's making a freaking killing off of the rent there, off of all those apartments or condominiums, whatever they are.
Probably some big real estate company that bought it.
Or whatever. I mean, whoever it is, that was the best deal God damn it. I think, what was it, 40 million? I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
At the end of the day, though, winning cures all. If we win matches consistently, and we actually do challenge for that top 7 spot consistently, winning cures all. Winning cures all.
It does, but
it
doesn't take away the fact that a lot of those old timers, a lot of those East Cockneys will say that the club sold its soul. Boy, it's hard to argue with them on that. It really is, because they've got a point. They've got a point. They're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you there.
Look, they could have just redeveloped. They could have knocked down or redeveloped. They could have done something, because what killed the club is
money.
They could have figured something out, because all the businesses in that area that they couldn't even tell them to this to their face that, oh, you're not coming. We have no space for you. Ribman found his way over there, but he was one of the few.
Yeah.
But everybody else, they're fucking dying. I mean, I remember going there in May of 2018. I went there, and it was a ghost town, man.
Yeah, I'm terrified to go back to E13. Not for safety.
I did,
for depression, man.
On my first day there, and I didn't know what to think, because I'd never gone before, so I was bullshit.
I haven't been to the new stadium, but to use a Chicago analogy, I remember the old Madhouse on Madison, the original Chicago Stadium, and then replaced it with the new bells and whistles place, United Center. I mean, I'm sorry, United Center sucks as compared to the old Madhouse in Madison. Same thing. That's why I'm terrified of going to London Stadium, because I've been to the Bowling, and man,
that's a good analogy, Eric. And my Chicago Stadium was knocked down the year I was born, but my dad would say similar things to what some old time West Ham fans will say, where you were right on the court or the ice, whatever sport you were watching. The stand would shake because it would get so loud. And then you moved into this United Center. It's obviously a little different. You had Michael Jordan too, 6 championships. But for someone that actually was at the Bowen and at the London Stadium, I mean, it is night and day. It was crazy going back to the Bowen and seeing all the developments. It was still being built. Yeah. And it is night and day. The atmosphere, the first half at the London Stadium, I sat up.
I went there on my first day, and I tried to do as much business as I possibly could, because I went on my first day. I got my haircut. I was carrying. I couldn't get into my Airbnb yet. I had like 7 hours to kill, so I spent it down there on the E13, and I got my haircut. I tipped the guy as much as I could. I went and got to buy a mash. I did it as much as I could shop down there, because I just felt so bad looking at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I went into the Bowl-In, which was still there. There was fucking nobody in there. I was the only only customer in there. I ordered a pizza, a little dinky little pizza, because shit, I mean, whatever. I want to do something, you know what I mean? But it sucks, man. I feel so bad for them. But anyway, let's past the halfway mark. We totally flew right by that. So let's discuss some news. Share screen, blah, blah, blah. All right. So anything you see pop out? Let's 3 MLS clubs set for transfer tug of war over West Ham's Javier Hernandez. What do you guys think about this?
Oh, which clubs are they?
Well, I'm assuming San Antonio will be one of them. Am I right? Let's see. Usually they tell you at the fucking bottom, or sometimes they don't. Some of these websites don't even tell you at all. They make you think. See, yeah. Where the fuck was it?
I think he's made it pretty clear though that he doesn't want to go to MLS right now.
That's right through that. Oh, at least 3 teams. You fucking bastard. Why would they?
I think that's just clickbait. To actually not even give team names.
San Antonio was one of them. I know that. Dallas, whatever they called, FC Dallas. That was another one they had mentioned before the season started.
I don't really buy into it, to be honest. I don't think Chicharito wants to go to MLS at this point.
No, we also heard before the summer was over, we also heard potentially Brazil. Bottom line is, I don't think he really wants to be here anymore. Really? I mean,
No, I mean, he's already started a game and scored a goal. So at the moment, I'm sure he's happy. We'll see what happens. But, if Hilaire gets hurt or classic West Ham, he keeps getting hurt, we're going to need Chicharito. We cannot sell him without getting another striker. We just cannot.
Yeah, not this year, at least till a January transfer window. And let's be honest. Let's take a look at our January transfer windows for strikers in the last 10 years.
For anybody, really. There's never any strikers in the January window.
So we're so thin up top that we have to keep Chicharito. I mean, we have to. But with the talent we've got around him, we should be able to make a decent run, and I think he sees that, and I do think he sees playing time. So, I think we can keep him happy, and his wage bill is damned handsome. So,
yeah,
I think we should keep him for a year. I mean, next year, no, he's gone, but that's going to require another transfer window for us.
Yeah, his contract ends at the end of the year, I believe.
Yeah.
Let it run out, I guess, but that's a lot of money. Because no one would buy him from us for sure. And he's going to have a tough time finding somewhere else to go if he expects those wages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the MLS, the league pays or they pay a massive portion, I think, of the wage, something like that.
Injury news.
Where's that? Injury news? This fucking thing?
Yeah, click on that. Let's see what's up.
Anderson, Noble, Allaire, Reed, latest West Ham news. Let's see if they actually say something. Football is usually good about it. I was hearing that, and also if you saw the pictures from training, it looked like
Allaire was training.
Allaire, Anderson, and Noble running around. So that's good.
I think we'll see Allaire and Anderson play. Maybe not both of them start, but I think they'll be in the squad. I don't think Noble's gonna be in the squad this game. I think he'll be the next one. That's just my gut.
He's so good against Watford, though.
Yeah, we're playing at Vicarage Road. I'd like to see the captain on the pitch, but I don't think you see it.
Okay, well let's spin off of that then. If Noble does not play, who would be captain against Watford this weekend?
Declan Rice.
I don't mind Declan Rice. I think that's a noble call. I saw you guys talking about it in one of your prior podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years from now, if he stays healthy, he's with us. It's Wilshere or Rice. But based on our, I don't want to see Lanzini. Antonio will occasionally wear it, but he doesn't always start. You know what? Fabianski. Give it to Lucas.
That's the issue that we had. So a lot of people, I don't have the issue of Declan Rice. A lot of West Ham supporters are giving the backlash saying he's too young. I don't buy it. I don't buy that he's too young. I think that he would make a great leader. But now Fabianski would be an absolute great leader for me if he was a field player. It's just tough. What everyone the negative is that if he needs to run halfway across the pitch to argue with the referee, you know what I mean? Like if there's something down the other end that the captain needs to run up and speak to the referee.
I mean, it's not unheard of though for goalies to be captain.
It's not, but I mean,
it's hard. But the two others that I would see that would have potential, one because he already was captain a little bit, was Winston Reed. So if he starts and plays, yeah, I think you go with Winston. And if he started, I think Snodgrass could do it too. I mean, he's a Scottish bastard. Why not have him as your captain?
I would love that. Yeah,
have him go Braveheart on Mike Dean. I'll take that all day.
Hell yeah, and he would too. Yeah, totally. So it does say that Noble is available for selection, and Reed obviously is the unknown return date. Playing it, taking it easy. I don't think we're going to see him in a match all season. He's just going to take his money, and that's it.
I think we'll see him in the second half, but he won't be playing all that much, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the news is kind of pissing me off because it really was no. I mean, if you want news regarding the upcoming match against Watford, you should probably watch our prior video.
Roger.
They went and Justin went in depth with the gentleman who supports Watford, an Englishman who lives in Canada.
Yeah, Ottawa.
Ottawa, yeah. So give that a shout. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna try to shut this one off and then pull up something different. Let's go into some Hammers polls. Oh man, why do I always do this to myself?
While you're looking at that, one thing that I did see you guys talk about from yesterday's show was a review of the Man City match and how disappointed everyone was. I gotta say 2 cents on that.
Okay.
First of all, City's 3 goals better than us. They just are. And then what no one's talking about is that we got Mike Deaned. Fabianski stops the penalty and VAR comes up and they get
I'm
another
glad you
penalty
brought that up. I'm glad
because
you brought that up.
because Manchester City gets it. It's Mike Dean. He's got an eye like a dead perch. Not only
Yeah,
can he not see
it's true.
anything, he hates us. You knew we were gonna ship 3 anyway, so we shipped 5, 2 of them to Mike Dean. I mean, we were gonna get beat that match. I knew that going in, so I really went heavy on the Bloody Marys that day. But I don't think that match is indicative at all of the season. Not when it's City and not when it's Mike Dean.
I don't think it's indicative. I just, of the season anyway. But I feel that it was absolute shit to see. The frustrating thing was to see their effort that match. I mean, they looked like they were playing decent the first 20 minutes, basically until the first goal, and then it was like watching. I don't know, an American club or a high school club or a college club where they go a goal down and then they just shrug their heads and they're done.
Yeah.
They're out of it. I don't like that at all. So that was disappointing because these guys are like, they got to show heart. They got to show passion. They got to show, what the fans show, and the fans were on fire. And, that just pissed me off. So those players should go out every single match, regardless of who it is, try to kill. Go out for the kill. They should try to win, and I thought that's how Pellegrini likes to have his teams. And it's frustrating to see that his players aren't performing the way he wants. I know that Pellegrini wants his players to, be attacking at all times and go for the kill and try to, stick one up, to the other team, and regardless of who it is. And they wouldn't do it. They were playing like Allardyce. You know what I mean? Like an Allardyce team. He's just like, oh, it's the big team. Oh, don't worry about it. We're just going to pack it in. Even though we're getting paid the same as any other match, and the supporters had to pay the same amount of money to get in the match, we're going to pack it in. That's bullshit. That's just absolute bullshit. They're fucking professionals. Like City loses matches every single year to somebody. It's usually not even a big club that beats them. So why couldn't it have been us? Well, why would it be Burnley or somebody else? You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be at some point. So
Well, Tim, I actually disagree with you. I don't really think they packed it in. I think
they packed it in, dude. They didn't perform at all after the first goal.
You're talking about packing it in and performing. It's really 2 different things. You're talking about a playing style and then their actual performance. The performance we can talk about. And Eric, I agree with you that we weren't going to probably get a result from City, but I do agree with Tim in that the performance was still below my expectations. And
it was piss poor, no question about it. But the other thing, I mean, can we just once get a mid-table team to open up with? City, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. Our last 6 opening matches.
Next year, Eric. Next year.
Give me a break.
I got to mention real quick. You did mention Mike Dean and our podcast, our actual American Hammers Radio podcast, which is up on Spotify and SoundCloud and all that other good stuff. The most recent episode I just posted yesterday, but the show that after the City match that they did, which is on SoundCloud and Spotify and all that good stuff. Kyle from Fresno Irons is the host. Zach from Maryland is his co-host, and they've been doing a fantastic job. They've already done 3 episodes. They just went off on Mike Dean, and I was just laughing my ass off the whole way to work when I was listening to that, man. It was just it's so true. Like, the guy, I don't understand. Like, he could totally fuck up a video assisted decision. Like, if he wasn't charged, which he wasn't, that's not how it works. But I'm just saying, he's the type of referee that would fuck up something like on the big screen. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, absolutely. I don't understand why he's still, a Premier League referee. He should get demoted. You know what I mean?
And he costs us 6 points a year. He just does.
No, he always. I just lost my shit. There we go. All right, so Justin, who should start in front on Saturday? Allaire, Chicharito, Allaire and Chicharito, or neither?
Yeah, this is a tough one. The only choice that I would be totally against is neither. So So I'm not a physio in that dressing room. I'm assuming Hilaire was kept off the pitch versus Brighton for precautionary reasons.
Yeah.
And if he really isn't, if the swelling's down and he's 100%, you have to do Hilaire. You have to do Hilaire. You paid 45 million pounds for him. You have to put him in.
Yeah.
If he is not 100%, though, I wouldn't mind him sitting out another game personally, given the fact that Chicharito did score. It wasn't Chicharito's best game, but he did put the ball in the net. And we all know in this league, it happens every year, multiple times. There are guys that go on runs where they score 2, 3, 4 games in a row. I'm not saying Chicharito will do that, but he scored yesterday. And it's like basketball. You see that ball go in the net, the confidence just rises. I wouldn't mind seeing both of them up there. I've always said that I think the way Hilaire holds up the ball really benefits Chicharito, who likes to run off of guys. So
and the way he performed at Frankfurt. So I mean, it's the same shit. I mean, he had 2 other strikers with him, pretty much. Right. So yeah, you're gonna go with both.
I'm gonna go with Hilaire because I think he's close to 100%. So I'm gonna go with Hilaire, but yeah.
Eric.
Chicharito for the first half and see how he plays. If he plays like he did the first half last
I don't mind that.
I would have subbed him out, which means he also wouldn't have scored. I'd like to see Hilaire come on and get some minutes. I don't want to see him try to go the whole 90, and I don't want to see Chicharito come in at 80. I'd start Chicha for the first 45 and see how he does.
Yeah,
I actually like that idea. I'm going to change my vote. No, I'm going with Hilaire, but that's a good point.
I'm going to say Hilaire and Chicharito because that's what I'm dying to see, and leave Antonio on the bench so that he can come off. I mean, the bench for either who's not performing. Because Hilaire and Chicharito are a class above. They played with class club. They're just a class above Antonio. So I would love to see them both together because Hilaire did very well with somebody else next to him or near him at Frankfurt, and I'm dying to see that. So I'll say that, and the overwhelming vote is for Hilaire by himself.
69%.
There's only 180 votes on this one because this was done 4 hours ago, but 2%. That means maybe like 4 or 5 people said neither. That's just dumb. I don't know who the hell. Oh, they're probably thinking Antonio. Any more polls here? Jesus Christ! I can't even read, dude. My brain's killing me here. All right, so if Noble is fit, should he replace Wilshere this weekend?
Yes. Without a doubt, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I would agree. I just got to mention, since I just finished my coffee, these fancy mugs are made by Drinkware Design. You can have your own logo put on there or whatever you want. You can have writing, whatever designs you want on these mugs. But the mugs themselves are just solid and fantastic. I love them. Link in the description, drinkwaredesign.com. One of the heads over there, one of the main guys over there is a West Ham supporter from Plano, Texas. So check that out.
Home of Frito-Lay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So Gaz, AHTV Gaz, I guess this is from 14 hours ago. I think they did mention this last night on the show, which neither of us were on. But Gaz from AHTV, American Hammers TV, says, Carlos Sanchez, did Pellegrini come out and say he's an important player for us because he truly believes he is? Or because he can sense the fans getting on his back? Are we being too harsh on Sanchez? So Pels rates him, or because we slayed him? Why did Pellegrini say he's an important player for us?
I mean, I don't want to be this.
I don't think he rates him. I don't think he rates him. I think he's this year's Lucas Perez. I mean, no. I don't want him on the bench. I don't want him. Oh, but he's played so much better since he got his haircut. His new hairdo.
I don't know. I agree that he doesn't rate him, but he's really our only true defensive midfielder beside Rice. So the depth in that position, as I'm sure you guys agree, is a little on the low side. So it's then so in that respect, he is an important player. For lack of a better word. But I don't think he rates them now. I think it's a combination of us slating him and the fact that he is the backup to Rice, and if Rice gets hurt,
Well, because we slate him as the.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he rates him at all.
Yeah, so West Ham have announced that Allaire, Anderson, and Noble are all fit for Saturday. Who doesn't start? All three? Allaire, Anderson, or Noble? I think we were all pretty much leaning toward Noble, but
yeah.
What do you say? Anything different?
No.
I'd go with Noble.
Yeah.
I think if Anderson starts though, I also don't see him going the whole 90 either.
Now I could see two out of the three of them not starting. I could.
Yeah. And the bench is going to be interesting. Eventually, Yarmolenko, I mean, no one's talking about him, but he's pretty much he's basically a free transfer for us this year. I think, I'd like to see him get back, if not in the starting 11, I'd like to see him in the 18.
Yeah, if he was at full fitness.
But then again, not ahead of Fornells, not ahead of Antonio, not ahead of Anderson. I mean, not ahead of Snodgrass.
If he was at full fitness, he's probably one of our trickiest players, one of our better players. You know what I mean? It's just he's not there. If he and the rest of the team looks out of it. Nasty.
Didn't he play versus Brighton? I thought he played versus Brighton.
He did like 13 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. So and that doesn't do much for him either. That doesn't really get his fitness up. But now one thing that everyone seems to, I mean, I can't say everyone seems to forget. I mean, you probably don't forget, but no one's mentioning, or what I've been hearing is, oh no, he's not anymore. He's just not a defensive midfielder anymore. But Mark Noble played a shitload of games at defensive midfield for Sam Allardyce, and some for Slaven Bilic. Like he can do it, people. Like you understand. Like remember Steven Gerrard when he stopped when he started getting older, they moved him more of a central role or more of a defensive holding position role. I mean, they didn't leave him attacking anymore. I mean, as an attacking midfielder or a center midfielder as much. They put him in a different position. Like that's where Noble's at, man. Everybody keeps talking shit about his legs going or he's just not as good at attacking midfield anymore. Oh, we signed all these attacking players. Where are we going to put him? Oh God, holding mid.
Yeah,
he played. He played a shitload of games there.
In Pellegrini's 4-2-3-1, the two are Rice and Noble for me always, and then you round robin the three with everyone I just previously mentioned, and you have one up top. Yeah,
but my point also though is if Rice got hurt, I wouldn't put Sanchez there. I put fucking Noble there.
Who would play alongside?
That's a good poll. Hammer's polls. I know you're watching this. You watch every single episode of ours, which thank you so much. Put that as your next poll. Who would you rather have as a central defensive midfielder? Would you rather have Noble or Sanchez?
I mean, you're going to have Noble getting the vote.
Damn right. But come on. I mean, I'd be happy with that. I'd be much happier than having him anywhere further up the pitch.
Who do you put alongside? Who do you put alongside Noble if Rice gets hurt?
If Rice gets hurt, I would put Snodgrass where he belongs. He doesn't belong in the wing. He's not an attacking midfielder. He's a central midfielder. He should be a central midfielder. He would be awesome. Wilshere. How about Wilshere? Put Wilshere in the central midfield.
I like Jack there too, although the couple of times they've tried to run it, he's run a little too far forward. He's got to stay back.
Well, that's his fucking fault. I mean, that's stupid, but I know. But he should be good at that position. But I think Snodgrass would be fantastic at that. But I don't know. It's not going to happen because logic does not happen in this world, the West Ham world. But I mean that would be fucking phenomenal. I don't know. Anyway, so they'll put Sanchez. I know they will. I mean, Pellegrini would anyway. So maybe he does rate him after all. I don't know. Yeah. So let's do one last poll here. One of my favorite ones here. Do we need an upgrade on Fabianski next season? And before you say anything, think about how many clean sheets we had last season. Think about how many clean sheets we've had this season.
Well, you try to play keeper with a broken guitar, a folding chair, and a traffic cone as your defenders.
Presidents of the United States of America, that band. I remember they had a couple hits in the late or mid 90s. They played two strings.
Sorry, that's a red card. No Presidents of the United States. That's the worst band ever.
I'm not a fan. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think who plays broken guitars.
I'd walk out of that concert on an airplane. No.
I was just trying to come up with an analogy. I'm not a fan at all.
No, Fabianski. No, we keep him 1 more year, but we definitely do need a keeper upgrade because
Hell yeah.
It just breaks my heart to see Adrian at Anfield in a Liverpool outfit. It kills me. That's a bit of a
holding the trophy.
That's a bit of a.
I know it's a shit trophy, but still, I mean,
no, Fabianski's good for a couple of seasons, yeah. But if he goes down, what we have left over in that is scary. Which falls upon your point. Your point was that he's playing in front of a broken fucking defense. How long can he go playing in front of it and putting all that effort in behind a broken defense without getting injured? I mean, he's more likely to get injured. We're talking about something that isn't broken, Fabianski, to something that is broken. So rather than spend the money on a keeper, I'd like to see us improve our central D, our center backs, and our fullbacks in probably that order.
Right on. Okay.
And Cresswell, I mean, he's pretty much played himself off the team at this point. He went from being speaking of captain, he went from being the captain to he wasn't even in the 18, and they did not list him as a knock. I mean, he was a healthy scratch.
I agree. I actually agree. So, on that note, we're about time to wrap it up.
Cool.
I know we would like to know the address. So if anyone's visiting the Grand Rapids area or Michigan at all, and you want to take a drive, or anywhere that's driving distance, whatever, if you want to visit the Speakeasy, where's it located?
So Speakeasy Lounge, and that's spelled SPEAKEZ, letter E, letter Z. That's actually my nickname, Easy. So come in and ask for Easy. Any hammer that comes in first couple rounds, I'll always buy. That's just good East London polite Cockney.
Oh, yeah.
600 Monroe, Grand Rapids, Michigan, right downtown. Or get to Grand Rapids, go to Henry Brewing, and ask where the soccer bar is. It'll all say Speakeasy. And Grand Rapids is pretty cool for Beer City. So come on, if you're in here for a day or two, I'll take you out on a brewery tour, and we'll have a good time.
Awesome. Justin.
Thank you for allowing the plug. Appreciate it.
Dude, absolutely. Absolutely. And I hope some people come visit you too. Some new people, some new faces. I hope you'll see some new faces this season, is my point. Justin, another OTL podcast came out.
Yeah. We had some audio issues this time. But Casey has an interesting interview with the deputy director of the Football Supporters Association in the UK. It's sort of the supporters equivalent of the PFA for the players in the Premier League. So check that out. There were some minor audio issues, but I think Casey edited most of them out. My mic died in the middle of it. So, but yeah, it was our 5th episode. Yeah, you can find it on Apple and Google Play, I believe. And that's the OTL Football Podcast.
Right on. And we're going to look forward to more fan cams with you too, right?
For sure.
Awesome. So on that note, we've been saying this since last season. The discussion kind of died down, but if you like what Justin was doing with the fan cams, we've asked for your reactions. I know we got a few last season or sporadically, but there's a lot of supporters groups. Look what Justin did. Look what, an awesome job he did. And it didn't look like it took a whole lot of his time or effort, because, you keep them short and sweet. You keep the reactions short and sweet, just like West Ham Fan TV does. I mean, they're not 15 minutes long. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, 1 to 5 minutes long tops, usually 1 to 3, somewhere around there. And just get someone to record you. But, make sure that the phone is landscape. Yeah. So, but it doesn't matter.
It didn't look too bad on YouTube.
No,
it really
didn't. It still looked cool. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So, and I did. And it sounded great too. Now, please, if you guys have a supporters group out there and you want to get some, time on YouTube, we'll post your stuff. We'll upload your stuff if you want to do some reactions. Also, on that note, if you're IT guy there, Eric, if you have any Watford fans decide to show up and you want to watch them crying or put them, some video clips of them crying, that'll be fantastic. We'll upload them on our website and everything else.
Interesting in terms of support, and this is why I think I've got the right place. The bartenders that came in weren't football fans. right? And I don't make anyone pick a team, but you're encouraged to because it's a good idea. And two of my bartenders, one of them became a Seagull, one of them became a Watford fan.
There you
And
go.
I'm like, they didn't pick City, they didn't pick
Exactly.
England or Arsenal. They picked, and so that's when
Yeah.
you've got the cool one. So yeah, I do have a Watford fan. He's one of my damn bartenders.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh God, he'll be spiking the drinks on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be pouring my own. Thank you very much.
There's a few other things I'm going to mention real quick before we leave. Scarves. We still need to sell about 5 scarves. So come on, people. Go to our website, AmericanHammersTV.us. Buy a scarf so we can place the order and have them printed and send them out. The other thing is both of our original designs for our T-shirts, which I don't have on me, but we've had a lot of people asking for them to come back. So they're back. And just go to bonfire.com/AmericanHammersTV or bonfire.com/AHTV-2. Both are in the description below. 20% of the proceeds from the shirts, which is also hoodies and long sleeves and all that good stuff, those go to 2 different charities of ours. Our favorite charities, the GT38 Foundation and Isla's Fight. Scarves, not so much. Scarves helps the show, like 100%. So, sorry. But please help us out because we need it. And because all this stuff costs money. StreamYard, SoundCloud, all these things, website, just everything. It's cost, we want to continue this. We want to put out as much content as we can, but, things cost money. So anyway, there was one other thing I want to mention. We got a couple shows on Sunday. We're going to have a show with like 3 Brits. One of them living in Philly, another one living in the UK, interviewing a UK West Ham supporter to change things up. We like mixing things up a bit, mixing different hosts together and co-hosts and so on. But the 2 hosts for the day, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. UK, you've seen on the show before. So it'd be nice to see them together interviewing somebody new that you've not seen before, but it's been in the chat room. So that'll be cool. And then Sunday, I don't remember who we have. Oh, we're going to have, I'm trying to get Wally and Gary from South Carolina to come on so we can talk about the Vegas event. We have Sunday night open for them. So hopefully they're around. Me and Lee will chat them up. And then Monday, we're going to have another show. Me and Ben from Colorado. We're going to interview somebody else. I don't even have the list in front of me. Sorry, people. And then Tuesday, the Fantasy Premier League show. So anyway, enjoy your weekend, obviously. And let's get a win. Come on. Let's
3 points.
Win.
Come on, you
3
are.
points, baby. Come on. And please send us your reaction videos. Send us all that good stuff, and we'll post it up. Also, please don't forget, we do have American Hammers Radio. It is growing. I've finally received 2 of the other shows that have not, they were in the works. There's 5 shows in the works. One that's already on. The one that's already on, the flagship show, has been done 3 episodes already. I got the first episodes of 2 out of the 5 that are in the works. So that'll be awesome. Those will be coming up soon. I need some sleep, man. I gotta edit these things, but whatever. We'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Come on, you are.